Hey guys, thank you again for your purchase of the no-throw surf system. This is the setup video. Make sure to watch the entire video and really pay attention because we want you to have a really good experience your first time out with the no-throw. And the number one thing we don't want to happen is for your pole to get broken. So pay attention. We're going to take you through everything you need to know to have a successful first day and to no longer have rope duty. So I put chapters down at the bottom of this video so that you can skip ahead to things you need to know if you've already watched it once. What we're going to go over is terms, setup, how not to break your pole, how to set your rope length, and just some general information about it. So stay tuned, let's get in. All right, let's go over terms real quick. This is your pole sleeve. This is where the pole is gonna insert into. This is your toe point where you're gonna hook your rope on. This is your spring pin right here. This is your rotational spring, and these are your lift springs on either side. This is your spring plate right here, this teardrop plate. And then right in here is your spring plate pin that you're gonna push down during setup to rotate the spring plate around to the right spot. Those are all the terms you need to know. Oh, actually no, these are your clevis mounts right here. So you have a Stow clevis and a surf clevis. Those are all the terms you'll need to know. All right, in the terms, you saw me pull out the spring pin. There are two types of spring pins you're gonna get, a metal one and a plastic one. When you're actually surfing, use the plastic one because this is the shear point. If something goes wrong, that will break to not break your pole. Use the metal one if your plastic ones are falling out when you're towing your boat down the road. Put the metal one in when you travel because it has an O-ring on it that will hold it in place so that it doesn't come out while you're driving down the road. There are two styles of no-throw. One with your clevis mounts that are 90 degrees from each other, and a separate one that I'll show you in a second where they're 180 degrees from each other. If you're 90 degrees from each other, go to the chapter where it says 90 degree setup video. If your no-throw looks like this, where it has the Stow clevis and the surf clevis 180 degrees from each other, skip ahead to the 180 degree setup chapter. That'll be the setup for you. Okay, if your clevis mounts were 90 degrees from each other, this is the setup chapter for you. The first thing you're gonna do, you can take your no-throw tool or just use your fingers. You're gonna hook on to your spring pin right here and pull that out. And then you're gonna take your rotational spring off and you're gonna spin the head of the no-throw out of the way, giving you access to your spring plate pin. If you come right over top of that pin, I'm gonna push down in that hole and spin the plate once, twice, so that the spring plate is pointed straight out the front of the boat. Then I'm gonna rotate the no-throw around here and I'm gonna hook my rotational spring onto the clevis mount that says surf. I'm gonna drop my spring pin right back in. Now you're set up to surf. Okay, let's say you wanna do another water sport like water skiing, wakeboarding, air chair, and you wanna put the no-throw on stow mode. The first thing you're gonna do is push it around to where the pole is pointed out the port side or the regular side of the boat. Then you're gonna hook onto your spring pin right here. You're gonna pull that out. You're gonna take your rotational spring off. You're gonna swing the head of the no-throw to where it's pointed straight out the front of the boat. Then you're gonna hook back onto your Stow clevis right here, drop your spring pin back in, and now you'll see you have a tow point that's completely unobstructed. So whatever water sports you're doing, you just have a standard tow point like you had before. So to set up your no-throw with the clevis mounts 180 degrees from each other, the first thing you're gonna do is clip on to your spring pin, we talked about earlier, pull that out, take your rotational spring off, and spin the head out of the way, and that will give you access to this little hole right here and your spring plate pin. You're gonna push down your spring plate pin and rotate your spring plate to where it's pointed out the left side of your boat or port side of your boat. Okay, with your spring plate out the left side, just find your surf clevis, take your rotational spring, rotate it over, hook it onto your surf clevis, and drop your spring pin into the surf clevis. You're ready to surf. Now, if you want to do other sports like water ski, wakeboard, air chair, whatever, you're going to hook onto your spring pin again, pull that out. You're going to take your rotational spring off. You're going to spin the head around to the Stow clevis right here. You're going to hook your rotational spring onto the Stow clevis like so, get her lined up, and then you're going to drop your spring pin back in the hole there. And now your no-throw is angled just slightly out the front of your boat. What that does for you is it allows you to hook on to your tow point here. And even when you cut out this side of the boat, out the port side, into the head of the no-throw, if you cut out hard enough, all it's gonna do is push that head forward. When the rope pushes on it, I haven't ever seen anyone who was a good enough wakeboarder to actually cut hard enough to push forward on this, but it's no problem if they do. And then obviously totally unobstructed out the starboard side. So that's how you set up your no-throw in the stow and the surf position with the 180-degree clevises. Okay, the beauty of the no-throw is it is a true out of sight, out of mind, set it and forget it product. So once it is set up, once you've done that little bit of process of getting it set up, now to go from goofy to regular, just grab your pole and swing it around to the other side. When it's on the goofy side and you let go of it, it returns goofy. Once you cross the middle, it switches to the other side, and now it's going to go regular and return to the regular side. So no adjustment. Once it's set up, goofy to regular, anywhere behind the boat, it's just going to automatically work. All right, now I'm going to go over a really important part, and that is how not to break your pole. It's very simple, so watch this section, pay close attention, and you'll never have a problem. Okay, the very first time you use this, you have your handle out, you have your surfer grabs it, idle forward slowly, and just pay attention to the path of your pole as it comes around behind your boat. Make sure that like your foil, your surfboards, your bimini, anything on top of your bimini or on your boat is not going to get in the way to where the pole is going to hit that coming down. And for peace of mind, we haven't found a factory setup that has any issues there. I just want you the first time to slowly make sure that the pole can swing around behind your boat, goofy and regular, and return to the side without hitting anything in your biminis, boards, tower, all the things. One more way you can break your pole is when someone's surfing and they have tension on the rope. If you reach up and push on the pole, you will crack the small sections. So just never reach up and push on the pole when there's tension on the rope. Okay, this won't break your pole, but it will break this little black plastic pin. If you have someone in the water and the boat is in reverse, so they're going out the front of your boat toward the bow and they pull forward on this, it's going to pull against this spring right here. And so when someone goes out the front, I'm going to show you what happens. So you'll see that when I pull backward, that spring collapses and then it comes around the side and rests. So if I push forward from here, what's going to happen is this plastic pin is going to break. Okay. You have 10 of these in your kit. So all you do is just put a new pin in it, but every time you pull forward on it, you're going to break one. We have replacement ones on the website, but I think that you won't make that mistake 10 times. Okay, so inside here, you're gonna have some little plastic pieces. So I just use the pin to push them out if they're in there. Same with right here. A lot of times there's just like a little bit of plastic left in there. Now, this is a good time to note, this is why you don't use the metal pin when you surf, because if I would have had the metal pin on there, it would have, the metal pin is stronger than the pole. And so instead of breaking the pin, the pole would have broken. And that's why you have the metal travel pins versus the plastic surf pins, so you don't break your pole if you pull it the wrong way. Okay, now you know how not to break your pole. Let's talk about how to fish your rope through your pole. You're going to start at the skinny end and just drop your rope down through. Just give it a little shake. It'll just drop through really nice and easy. Once it comes out the bottom, just grab it here. That's it. Okay, to put your pole into the no-throw, you're going to pull out some rope right here. You're going to take the end of your rope. You're going to pass it through your pole sleeve. Grab it on the back side here. Pull the rope through. Then you're going to take your pole, insert it into the pole sleeve, drop it down, and then this little button, you're going to push down on it, and it's going to click right into there. Make sure it fully engages right there. Then you're going to take your rope, wrap it around your toe point like that, and we'll extend your sections. Okay, to extend your sections out, you're going to open these clamps. So just open the lever there, pull your section out, and slide these out. Don't yank them really hard. They have a distinct stop in them that you will feel. Don't yank hard on that. Don't slam them shut. Just be normal with them. And when you close this lever, you should feel resistance. If there's no resistance when you close this, you need to tighten this little screw right here. So tighten that a little bit and then close this again if it wasn't tight enough. So loosen, tighten, close. Make sure there's some resistance. Take your second section, extend that out until you feel it just slow down. Close that. Third section, open it, extend that out, close that, and then I'm going to let go of this. And that's how to extend your pole. To take your pole down at the end of the day is just the opposite of that process. Open your clamp, slide your section in. Again, remember I said don't slam these, just slide them in nice and easy. And do that for all 3 sections. Close your clamps. And that's the whole process to put it away at the end of the day. Or if you're going to switch to somebody like water skiing or wakeboarding, you can always just leave your pole in closed up, and that works too. All right, as you can see, the no throw when the pole is collapsed is inside the exterior profile of your boat. So as long as you have the height, if you have like a boathouse or a dock where you leave your boat, you can just leave the pole in like this. You don't need to take it out at the end of the day. If you trailer your boat, all you're gonna do is grab your rope, pull it off your tow point, push down on that little pin I showed you earlier, pop this out, run your slack out, and then this pole will just store easily under your seat, wherever you want. Just coil up your rope, do that. Okay, now to set your rope length, we gave you a loop. Every 5 inches, there's a loop on this rope for the last 7 feet of it. So to set your rope length, you're gonna use these loops, and you can even double them over to adjust your rope to, instead of 5 inches to 2.5, to get it perfectly dialed. So to set your rope length, you just want your handle to hang right above the water while the person is out surfing, all your bags are deployed and everything else. You'll use those little sections to adjust the length to get the handle to hang right there. If it does touch the water and bounce around a little bit, it's not a problem. It's all preference. All right, guys, I know that might sound like a lot of information, but it's really simple. Get it set up right the first time. Make sure that the pole isn't going to hit anything as it goes around behind your boat and returns to the side of your boat. And make sure that nobody reaches up and pushes on the pole when a surfer has tension on the rope. And you're going to have a great experience if you just do those simple things. So once again, thank you for your purchase, and get ready for the most convenient rope-free summer of your life.